CompTIA Cloud Plus Certification Exam Full Review. Question 1. For Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, the team must run short event-triggered code with demand-based execution. It also wants to avoid a design where a continuously running server would consume resources during idle periods. Which cloud model offers the most appropriate balance? Option A, private cloud. Option B, function as a service. Option C, infrastructure as a service. Option D, multi-cloud. The correct answer is option B, function as a service. Event-driven functions allocate execution resources only when invoked and remove persistent server administration. The proposed use aligns with the workload constraint and supports a defensible vendor-neutral cloud decision. The alternatives solve adjacent design or operational problems instead of the specific issue identified here. Question 2. For its real-time reporting pipeline, Foresight Analytics wants to expand and contract resources as demand changes. Which architecture pattern is most appropriate? Option A, cloud bursting. Option B, a vertical scaling. Option C, elasticity. Option D, load balancing. The correct answer is option C, elasticity. Dynamic resource adjustment is a defining cloud behavior that matches consumption to current workload needs. In this scenario, the capability addresses the immediate design objective and avoids solving a different problem. Conversely, permanently over-provisioning would increase cost outside peak periods. Question 3. Engineers reviewing Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline describe the intended behavior as follows: process-level isolation enables rapid startup, consistent deployment, and efficient density for compatible applications. Which compute architecture does this description identify? Option A, containers. Option B, container orchestration. Option C, microservices architecture. Option D, edge computing. The correct answer is option A, containers. The described behavior supports the requirement to package applications with dependencies while sharing the host kernel. The proposed use aligns with the workload constraint and supports a defensible vendor-neutral cloud decision. The main risk of choosing a different approach is that full guest operating systems would add more overhead than the workload requires. Stressed about your CompTIA exam? We can take CompTIA exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Before the next production change to Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, the team must enforce structured schemas and transactional consistency. Which data-service choice should be prioritized? Option A, content delivery network. Option B, block storage. Option C, relational database. Option D, NoSQL database. The correct answer is option C, relational database. Relational engines support defined relationships, constraints, and atomic transactions for structured records. The scenario calls for this capability because the real-time reporting pipeline depends on the specified behavior rather than a general cloud feature. Conversely, a schema-flexible store may not provide the required relational guarantees. Question 5. For Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, the team must translate service names into network addresses. It also wants to avoid a design where hard-coding numerical addresses would be brittle during scaling or failover. Which network architecture offers the most appropriate balance? Option A, a virtual private network. Option B, public subnet. Option C, network peering. Option D, domain name service. The correct answer is option D, domain name service. Name resolution decouples clients from changing addresses and supports service discovery through records. The design decision fits the real-time reporting pipeline because it targets the exact availability, security, deployment, or operational need described. A nearby concept would leave the central requirement unresolved even though it could improve another part of the environment. Question 6. The current proposal for Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline has a drawback: backup-only recovery would not meet the moderate restoration target. The team still needs to operate a reduced capacity copy that can scale after failover. Which recovery design should replace the proposal? Option A, recovery time objective. Option B, multi-region deployment. Option C, warm standby. Option D, hot standby. The correct answer is option C, warm standby. Partially active resources shorten recovery time compared with cold recovery while costing less than full duplication. The scenario calls for this capability because the real -time reporting pipeline depends on the specified behavior rather than a general cloud feature. Other options may be useful elsewhere, yet they do not provide the capability emphasized by this scenario. Question 7. Engineers reviewing Foresight Analytics' real -time reporting pipeline describe the intended behavior as follows: a standardized cloud foundation creates repeatable guardrails before application teams deploy resources. Which planning decision does this description identify? Option A, landing zone. Option B, resource tagging strategy. Option C, compliance assessment. Option D, dependency mapping. The correct answer is option A, landing zone. The described behavior supports the requirement to establish governed accounts, networking, logging, and identity foundations. The design decision fits the real -time reporting pipeline because it targets the exact availability, security, deployment, or operational need described. The nearby alternatives are less suitable because allowing each team to build an unrelated foundation would increase inconsistency. Question 8. For Foresight Analytics' real -time reporting pipeline, the team must describe the desired infrastructure state in version-controlled code. It also wants to avoid a design where manual console steps are harder to reproduce and audit. Which provisioning practice offers the most appropriate balance? Option A, drift detection. Option B, idempotent automation. Option C, modular infrastructure code. Option D, declarative template. The correct answer is option D, declarative template. A desired -state definition supports repeatable creation and lets tooling calculate required changes. In this scenario, the capability addresses the immediate design objective and avoids solving a different problem. Other options may be useful elsewhere, yet they do not provide the capability emphasized by this scenario. Are you looking for CompTIA exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access CompTIA exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get CompTIA exam answer key today. Question 9. A proposed design for Foresight Analytics' real -time reporting pipeline will be approved only if it can replace the existing application with a commercial cloud service. Which migration approach satisfies that condition? Option A, retain. Option B, phased migration. Option C, rehost. Option D, repurchase. The correct answer is option D, repurchase. Adopting a new product can remove custom hosting responsibilities when business processes can adapt. The design decision fits the real -time reporting pipeline because it targets the exact availability, security, deployment, or operational need described. The nearby alternatives are less suitable because migrating the legacy stack would preserve its maintenance burden. Question 10. The current proposal for Foresight Analytics' real -time reporting pipeline has a drawback: availability testing alone would not assess confidentiality or integrity risks. The team still needs to evaluate the release for vulnerabilities and insecure configuration. Which release practice should replace the proposal? Option A, a rollback plan. Option B, security test. Option C, a canary deployment. Option D, feature flag. The correct answer is option B, security test. Security validation reduces the chance that a technically functional deployment introduces exploitable weaknesses. The requirement is satisfied by matching the cloud capability to the real -time reporting pipeline's stated operating condition. The distractors are legitimate cloud techniques, but they address different requirements from the one being tested. Question 11. Foresight Analytics is preparing an update to its real -time reporting pipeline and needs to access a managed cloud service without traversing the public internet. Which configuration choice is the strongest choice? Option A, managed identity. Option B, security group. Option C, private service endpoint. Option D, the availability -zone placement. The correct answer is option C, private service endpoint. Provider -private connectivity reduces exposure and can keep traffic on controlled network paths. For the real -time reporting pipeline, the governing factor is the requested behavior, and this approach provides it directly. The nearby alternatives are less suitable because using a public endpoint would create unnecessary internet reachability. Question 12. For Foresight Analytics' real -time reporting pipeline, the team must measure code -level latency, errors, and transaction behavior. It also wants to avoid a design where infrastructure utilization alone may not identify inefficient application logic. Which observability method offers the most appropriate balance? Option A is centralized logging. Option B, application performance monitoring. Option C, health check. Option D, baseline analysis. The correct answer is option B, application performance monitoring. Application instrumentation links slow user experiences to methods, dependencies, and exceptions. For Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, that capability maps directly to the stated technical requirement. The distractors are legitimate cloud techniques, but they address different requirements from the one being tested. Question 13. Architects supporting Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline need the solution to remove unattached or ownerless resources after verification. Which optimization action should they choose? Option A, budget alert. Option B, reserved capacity. Option C, right-sizing. Option D, orphaned minus resource cleanup. The correct answer is option D, orphaned minus resource cleanup. Unused volumes, addresses, snapshots, and other objects can continue generating cost and risk. The choice is appropriate for Foresight Analytics because it acts on the requirement identified in the scenario, not merely on a related concern. A different choice would be weaker because ignoring resources after workload deletion allows waste to accumulate. Question 14. Engineers reviewing Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline describe the intended behavior as follows: quiescing writes and flushing buffers improves recoverability of transactional workloads. Which recovery operation does this description identify? Option A, incremental backup. Option B, failback plan. Option C, application minus consistent snapshot. Option D, cross minus region replication. The correct answer is option C, application minus consistent snapshot. The described behavior supports the requirement to capture data after coordinating application and file system state. For Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, that capability maps directly to the stated technical requirement. By contrast, a crash minus consistent image may require longer recovery or application repair. Question 15. A production minus readiness review for Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline requires the team to remove access, data, network records, licenses, and resources when retiring a service. Which operational practice belongs in the plan? Option A, decommissioning checklist. Option B, patch maintenance window. Option C, runbook. Option D, change record. The correct answer is option A, decommissioning checklist. A complete retirement process prevents residual cost, exposure, and orphan dependencies. Applied within Foresight Analytics' environment, the approach resolves the central constraint without expanding the solution beyond its purpose. A different choice would be weaker because terminating only the main instance could leave sensitive or billable artifacts. Question 16. Foresight Analytics is designing its real-time reporting pipeline. A key requirement is to assign permissions according to job responsibilities. Which identity control provides the closest fit? Option A, separation of duties. Option B, or role-based access control. Option C, single sign-on. Option D, attribute-based access control. The correct answer is option B, role-based access control. Role-based permissions simplify administration and support least privilege by linking access to defined functions. For Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, that capability maps directly to the stated technical requirement. By contrast, granting broad individual permissions would be harder to review and maintain. Question 17. The current proposal for Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline has a drawback: storing keys in ordinary application files would provide weaker protection. The team still needs to perform protected cryptographic operations using tamper-resistant hardware. Which protection control should replace the proposal? Option A, key rotation. Option B, hardware security module. Option C, secrets manager. Option D, encryption in transit. The correct answer is option B, hardware security module. Dedicated hardware isolates high-value key material and can meet stringent assurance requirements. Applied within Foresight Analytics' environment, the approach resolves the central constraint without expanding the solution beyond its purpose. The decision depends on the stated constraint rather than on selecting the most broadly familiar cloud technology. Question 18. Engineers reviewing Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline describe the intended behavior as follows: outbound controls limit malware communication, data exfiltration, and unauthorized service use. Which network security control does this description identify? Option A, zero-trust access. Option B, bastion host. Option C, egress filtering. Option D, distributed denial of service protection. The correct answer is option C, egress filtering. The described behavior supports the requirement to restrict outbound destinations and protocols from workloads. This approach gives Foresight Analytics the required behavior while keeping the implementation aligned with the workload's actual demand. The main risk of choosing a different approach is that focusing only on inbound traffic leaves an important path uncontrolled. Stressed about your CompTIA exam? We can take CompTIA exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. For Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, the team must restrict where data may be physically stored or processed. It also wants to avoid a design where choosing any available region could violate placement obligations. Which governance control offers the most appropriate balance? Option A, a data loss prevention. Option B, audit trail. Option C, legal hold. Option D, a data residency policy. The correct answer is option D, data residency policy. Location controls support legal and contractual requirements tied to jurisdiction. The choice is appropriate for Foresight Analytics because it acts on the requirement identified in the scenario, not merely on a related concern. The decision depends on the stated constraint rather than on selecting the most broadly familiar cloud technology. Question 20. The design brief for Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline states that the environment must document possession and handling of collected evidence. Which security response best meets the brief? Option A, chain of custody. Option B, root-cause remediation. Option C, a threat intelligence integration. Option D, hardened image. The correct answer is option A, chain of custody. A verifiable record supports integrity and admissibility by showing who controlled evidence at each stage. This approach gives Foresight Analytics the required behavior while keeping the implementation aligned with the workload's actual demand. The main risk of choosing a different approach is that untracked transfers would weaken confidence in the material. Question 21. The current proposal for Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline has a drawback. Continuing a failing deployment would extend the incident. The team still needs to restore a known stable release when health criteria fail. Which DevOps practice should replace the proposal? Option A, a continuous integration. Option B, automated rollback. Option C, continuous deployment. Option D, a feature branch. The correct answer is option B, automated rollback. Fast reversal limits user impact and supports safer frequent delivery. In this scenario, the capability addresses the immediate design objective and avoids solving a different problem. Other options may be useful elsewhere, yet they do not provide the capability emphasized by this scenario. Question 22. Prior to expanding Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline, administrators must safely reach the intended state when run more than once. Which automation practice should they use? Option A, secrets injection. Option B, automated configuration drift repair. Option C, API-driven automation. Option D, idempotent script. The correct answer is option D, idempotent script. Repeatable behavior allows retries after partial failure without duplicating resources or settings. The proposed use aligns with the workload constraint and supports a defensible vendor-neutral cloud decision. The main risk of choosing a different approach is that a script that blindly appends changes could damage repeated runs. Question 23. A cloud incident involving Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline cannot be resolved until the team can confirm encryption parameters, peer reachability, and root exchange. Which troubleshooting action should be prioritized? Option A, test hybrid tunnel status. Option B, verify effective routes. Option C, review security-group rules. Option D, check address exhaustion. The correct answer is option A, test hybrid tunnel status. A site-to-site connection depends on both tunnel establishment and correct routing to remote prefixes. The scenario calls for this capability because the real-time reporting pipeline depends on the specified behavior rather than a general cloud feature. Conversely, scaling cloud instances would not restore the private link. Question 24. An incident affecting Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline requires engineers to determine whether compute demand is consistently exhausting processor capacity. Which diagnostic action provides the most relevant next evidence? Option A, review CPU saturation. Option B, check memory pressure. Option C, review auto-scaling policy. Option D, analyze application traces. The correct answer is option A, Reviews CPU saturation. Sustained processor utilization with queuing can explain slow transactions and guide scaling or code analysis. The proposed use aligns with the workload constraint and supports a defensible vendor-neutral cloud decision. The main risk of choosing a different approach is that adding storage would not resolve a compute bottleneck. Question 25. An incident affecting Foresight Analytics' real-time reporting pipeline requires engineers to ensure required networks, identities, or data services exist before dependent resources. Which corrective action provides the most relevant next evidence? Option A. Verify secrets retrieval permission. Option B. Review dependency order. Option C. Inspect identity-policy evaluation. Option D. Examine pipeline logs. The correct answer is option B. Review dependency order. Deployment graphs fail when a resource is created before its prerequisites are available. The scenario calls for this capability because the real-time reporting pipeline depends on the specified behavior rather than a general cloud feature. Conversely, restarting the pipeline without correcting dependencies may repeat the failure.